is DRL, the Drone Racing League. Just 2 levels left to decide the DRL World Champion, and only 3 points separates our top 2 pilots in the world.
Let's go!
Yeah! It's time to tango. This is Drone Racing.
Let's go!
This is DRL. Welcome to the DRL Algorand World Championship, the premier international drone racing circuit. We're at Lone Depot Park in Florida for Level 12, Magic City. And the pilots for the first semifinal group are taking their place on the flight deck as racing is about to begin. Hello everybody, alongside 2-time DRL World Champion Evan Heads Up Turner, as well as 2018 DRL World Champ Paul Nurkala, I'm Craig Hummer. Well lads, that last level of racing was perhaps the most unpredictable we have ever seen. No real rhythm to the results or which pilots those results came from. So Evan, what does that do for the pilots' approach coming into level 12?
Well, as we get closer to the end of the season, the pilots are running out of time. And that means you don't have time to play the strategy. You don't have time to play it safe and work your way around the season points. You just have to go for it. If you want to win, if you're in those top 3, you're not going to win by playing it safe. You're going to win by giving it everything you have, letting the other pilots fail, and you're either going to win or lose in a dramatic fashion.
I don't know. I kind of disagree with you. MCK, Halo Walker, they came out swinging for the fences, and I don't think the results rewarded that. I think there's an opportunity to come out, hit a single, hit a double, get some points on the board, and use that to build momentum to get those season points. Thinking too far ahead is costing them in the short term.
We're going to let you guys sort this out along with the pilots. Let's meet those pilots and colors they will fly in semifinal number 1. Vanover, the 2019 DRL World Champion, now making his home in LA, flies the Disco Flashing Drone. Pavelos, originally from Poland, flies the Orange and White Drone. Alex, FPV, from Tennessee, flies the alternating Red and Blue Drone. Singu, from Spain, flies the Orange Drone. Maverick, now making his home in Southern California, flies the Red Drone. And Seba FPV from the Dominican Republic flies green and white.
8, 7, 6,
Semifinal
5,
1,
4,
Heat 1. The sleight of hand has begun. A great shot from Pavelos, but it's Vanover, the flashing drone, first as they head up to the Vista Gate. He rounds it and is back down to the field level. Already a crash as they go through the bottom of the T-Mobile stack.
Alex FPV had a great T-Mobile stack entrance, and it looks like he's making up ground up here coming up to the triple column slalom. Vanover has such a great line through here, and it looks like he actually gains over Alex FPV.
Yeah, Vanover has made a move and continues to increase his lead. On to lap number 2. The flashing drone of Vanover, our 2019 DRL World Champ, he's in first. The red and blue drone, that's Alex FPV. Singu sitting in third. They're your top 3.
First place is what they want right here. If you win the first heat, you're guaranteeing yourself a spot in finals. Oh, and Alex FPV makes contact.
Well, that takes him out of the equation. Vanover doesn't know, doesn't care. Oh! And Vanover somehow gets lost going through the columns, but he still maintains his lead. He's now going to go through the U.S. Air Force gate. It always helps to have a cushion. Vanover wins Heat 1 and is headed to the finals.
I almost threw that away very hard.
Dude, you were eating.
I was eating, but too much. I was eating too much.
That was
I almost threw that away big time.
Off the launch, Vanover just came out punching. Pavelos had a great one as well, but going through first base had some problems and went down in the Vista Gate due to his poor exit there. At that point, it was Alex FPV on the chase, and I was very impressed with how well some of his turns ended up going as far as how much ground he made up over Vanover. When it came to the 3-column slalom, Vanover's proved to be much stronger over Alex FPV and made some more distance. However, as Vanover made up this ground, you have to consider from the pilot perspective, from that pilot mindset of you slowing down can sometimes actually take you off your line. So keep an eye on that throughout the entire event, is that when a pilot gets out that far, it's not over quite yet, because them trying to adapt, them trying to change, take it safer, can sometimes, as you'll see here, affect them in a poor way. As Vanover hits that column and has to get back up, that wouldn't typically happen, in my opinion, if he stayed on the same speed, but he tried to adjust his line to fly slower, and it actually took him off his line. He made it, and he's going to the finals though.
Vanover, the first slalom we saw you separate from the pack, and then in the second slalom, nearly lost it all.
Yeah, that would have really been a dumb mistake if I had lost it. I was just pushing a little too hard. I was feeling it. Amari's time in the first level here was really good, and I was kind of thinking maybe I could, push a little harder and try and catch that. Pushed a little bit too hard on lap 2, but thankfully was able to save it. I had enough of a lead over the other pilots.
Does that now give you the advantage of knowing just how far and where your limits are?
Yeah, absolutely. Now I know the limit, so I can just build off of that now. And now that I'm in the finals, just focus on being consistent, and a lot of fast guys in this group too, so it'll be fun.
Exciting to watch. Thank you.
Thanks, Ayla.
Vanover clocked his ticket into the finals, but the person that was closest at the start was Pavelos, but he took it a little bit too hard through the Vista Gate. His drone is down. He is out. Here's another look of Pavelos crashing through that first Vista Gate. Just a little bit too much speed, fell into the stands. Then Alex FTV trying to catch Vanover, has a big turnaround in the T-Mobile Tower. That leaves Vanover out front. Vanover in the 3-column slalom was a little bit too close, and I don't know how he didn't crash there. He was way out front, got so much space, and then almost made a huge mistake that would have cost him that win. This is a big deal to move on quick, get the pressure off, and focus in on dialing it in for finals.
Vanover knows he is advancing. The other pilots are still going to have to work on their mojo. All 12 pilots race each level. They're seeded into 2 semifinal groups, with the top 3 from each advancing to the finals. There, the winner of the Golden Heat will be your level champion. The pilots earn season points based on their overall level finish. The pilot with the most points at the end of the season is the DRL Algorand World Champion. Each heat is 2 laps around Lone Depot Park. Evan, take us through it.
Off the start, pilots pass through the U.S. Air Force Pentagate, around home plate up to a U-turn through the Vista Gate. They pass through the lower portion of the T-Mobile double stack to the flight deck maneuver and back to the upper portion of the T-Mobile double stack. They head out to left field for the 3-column slalom and the triangle split S to the Google Cloud field gate. Then it's back to the U.S. Air Force Pentagate for the start of lap 2 or the sprint to the finish.
1 pilot's in, but we've got 5 on the outside looking in. More of semifinal 1 around the corner.
The Algorand ecosystem is where monumental change takes shape. So come transform the world with us on Algorand.
The Drone Racing League, brought to you by Algorand, the world's most powerful and sustainable blockchain. By T-Mobile, exclusive wireless partner of the Drone Racing League. And by Points Cash, freedom to pay your way. Welcome back to Level 12 Magic City. We're 1 heat into our first semifinal, and Vanover has already qualified for the finals. Here in the semifinals, they fly 3 regular heats, with each heat winner automatically advancing to the finals. Everyone else is subject to sudden death, where only the winner is guaranteed to advance. Evan, we always talk, right, about winning matters most, but there's also sometimes a difference in where you crash on the course.
There's definitely a strategy to starting out in the semifinals. If you crash in one of the first few turns, it can get to you mentally early on. That's exactly what we saw from Pavelos. He went down in the Vista Gate on the first lap, meaning the other pilots got all this extra practice time, even if they didn't win, and Pavelos had to sit there and watch him, man, and just think about what just happened. It's going to be hard for him to come back for it so early on in the semifinal.
Our pilots in colors again. Vanover flies the disco drone. Pavelos, orange and white. Alex, red and blue. Singu, orange. Maverick, red. And Seba, green and white.
9, 8,
Semifinal 1,
6,
Heat 2.
5, 4.
Always best to see beyond the obvious. That was a great angle at the start. Already multiple drones down, and we haven't even begun. The red and blue drone of Alex out in front. You've got Maverick in red in second.
I have not seen Maverick be able to stand up to the pressure of this moment. The door's wide open, and can he keep up with a veteran like Alex FPV? He has never, ever done it in IRL, and I know he wants to shine in a moment like this.
About to go through the Google Cloud Gate. It's Pavelos and Vanover who are down. Alex leads them through first base, now back up to the Vista Gate. The red and blue drone of the Tennessee man, now trying to put some distance between him and the red drone of Maverick.
Oh, Alex FPV
Alex.
this is gonna tighten it up big time. Alex FPV coming off a mistake, which means his likelihood to make another one is significantly higher.
How about that? We've got another man down. Seba's out, and so now it is Alex and Maverick and Singu trailing, but the top 2 are going to decide this. Alex has led start to finish, and he will win heat number 2.
That was so scary. That was disrespectful flying. I'm so sorry. That just won a heat.
How was it disrespectful?
It sucks.
Off the start, we saw a collision between Vanover and Pavelos, taking them both out, meaning we only had 4 drones left. I was really excited to watch that battle develop between Alex FPV and Maverick. As I was saying earlier, that Maverick had never gotten into this scenario and pulled out a win. He just seemed like he did, like the preparation has never pulled through. He's never been able to just give us that wow factor. Where he lost it most definitely both times was in the 3-column slalom. What we're gonna see is after the 3-column slalom, Alex FPV had this big gap, and Maverick turn after turn leading up to it was able to make it smaller. You're gonna see this gap start to shrink coming through the lower section of this T-Mobile stack. Over the flight deck maneuver with Alex FPV making a bobble, Maverick was getting close and it was getting exciting. But here comes that 3-column slalom. Alex FPV strong, and Maverick just doesn't have the rhythm he needs. It's a very rhythmic section, and Maverick, I don't know what it is, hasn't been able to figure it out. He's losing the races there. Alex FPV's veteran experience came out on top, and he's gonna be in finals.
Just as Alex took his headset off, I heard you turn to your right and say, "That was disrespectful flying, I'm sorry." What do you mean by that?
The outside of it, it sounds like I'm talking trash or anything, but everybody here knows what I'm talking about. We try so hard and we want the best races out there. None of us want it easy. We want the insanely tight. Everybody has a good race finish. And that heat, I heard Vanover and Pavel went down, and I don't know. I got in the lead. My nerves got up a little bit, so it wasn't a good run. I hate to see semifinals win with a run like that because it wasn't fast, but that's just part of it, So we're going to go out here and try to go fast again.
Thank you for wearing your heart on the sleeve. I appreciate it.
Alex FPV doesn't think that it was a spectacular flight, but a dub's a dub. Vanover and Pavelos crash into midair here off the start. They're down, they're out. That puts Alex FPV out front. He had a tremendous lead, but he just about lost it going through the T-Mobile gate. He barely avoids hitting the ground and the lights that are right there on the other side of the gate, but he keeps it in the air, keeps it smooth. Drones are crashing behind him. Watch the drone behind him, boom, obliterate on the T-Mobile gate. Alex stays up front. He's got Maverick chasing him down, but he's got a little bit of space. He's got a little bit of time, and he's fast. He knows he's fast. This is his opportunity to get that ticket into finals, and he brings it home and seals the deal.
2 heats into semifinal 1, and we have 2 separate pilots who have already advanced. If we have a third different pilot win our next heat, there will be no need for sudden death. The flight deck maneuver is one of the most dramatic elements on this course. Evan, take us through it, presented by the U.S. Air Force.
The flight deck maneuver is a banked left turn through 2 gates passing up and over the flight deck. Pilots roll left and pitch up to turn left and climb through the first gate and over the flight deck. They then pitch down to descend towards the second gate, where they roll left and pitch up hard to turn sharply towards the next gate. The fastest line requires one smooth turn through both gates, which will carry the most speed through to the exit. Making 2 sharp turns at each gate can cause the drone to lose momentum and swing wide, which is slower.
DRL and Algorand are coming out with Project Drone Galaxy, a new metaverse drone racing game. Join the Discord to learn more about it. The drama is only going to increase. Semifinal 1. One more chance before sudden death to book your tickets.
Are you one of the millions surprised by Verizon and AT&T raising your rates last year?
You have rights.
I'm not entirely sure what they are because I'm not a lawyer. I'm just a charming British actor. But I do know this. T-Mobile has price lock guarantee, and that means they won't raise the rates of your talk, text, and data ever. Look at these overly happy people. Join T-Mobile and experience price lock guarantee. A guarantee you won't look back. That's a guarantee. Am I saying guarantee too much?
Switch to T-Mobile and get 4 new lines for $25 a line.
The final clash of the season commences. He goes for the pass. This is DRL, the Drone Racing League. Welcome back to Level 12 Magic City. 2 heats into semifinal 1, and both Alex FPV and Vanover have qualified for the finals. We're nearing the end of the 2022-23 DRL Algorand World Championship season, and here are where things stand. After 11 levels of racing, only 3 points separate Halo Walker and MCK, both the closest to winning this World Championship, but don't discount Alex FPV, who we just saw qualify for this level's finals. Pavelos and Vanover are right there. Looking at this next heat, Evan, one of the 4 who aren't in the finals. How do they change their flying to give themselves the best chance?
What I would do is have a high drone racing IQ strategy, meaning I'm going to go through the first lap and evaluate after that. If I see Alex FPV and Vanover ahead, not that big a deal. Don't go crazy, because if they go down, I'll be able to capitalize on that. If I see Singu, Maverick, these other pilots that aren't in ahead of me, I have to go for broke. There's nothing I can lose here, and that's what I would do differently in comparison to another heat.
9, 8, 7.
Semifinal 1, Heat 3. More dexterity equates to less likelihood of drama. They're already headed up to the Vista Gate, and already Vanover's in the lead, but we hear contact.
Pavelos in that, now taking the lead over Vanover. They're right on top of each other, blade to blade battling. Vanover's already in the finals, but Pavelos, this could be his moment to shine.
This is the deepest because of those DNFs that Pavel has made it along this course in the semifinals. Vanover trying to keep him at bay. If Vanover does win, we will have a sudden death. On to lap number 2, through first base, up to the Vista Gate again, and Vanover's finding his groove.
Let's go back to that strategy I discussed before. Pavelos knows Vanover's out in front. What he should do is play the game he's so good at playing. Hope for a mistake, be there to capitalize on it, because if he goes down and Singu does, then Pavelos has no shot at getting the finals.
Into the 3-column slalom, Vanover absolutely has that one in his back pocket. Pavelos is right there. Vanover's going to have that final left turn through the U.S. Air Force Gate, and Vanny will win heat number 3, forcing a sudden death.
Good race. It was good. Hey, good luck in sudden death, man. It was good. Good race, baby. Good race.
Off the launch, we saw Alex FPV with some damage early on with Maverick. They had a mid-air collision in that first turn, which is so hard to avoid. Then it became the battle between Pavelos and Vanover, both trying to secure and maintain that confidence going into finals. Pavelos had a big opportunity here. If he could outrun Vanover, he wouldn't have to go into that sudden death pressure. But again, Vanover's 3-column slalom really outdid Pavelos. That seems to be a differentiator on this course, and it was in this heat for sure. However, it was another situation where Vanover was strong there, but Pavelos made up ground in the other sections. An incredible Vista Gate from Pavelos, and an even better T-Mobile stack. He was making up ground in every single turn over Vanover, but it just wasn't enough. Vanover almost with a bobble there, but it came down to this 3-column slalom. Vanover kept it just safe enough. Pavelos made one last ditch effort for a push, but it wasn't enough. Vanover kept the exact pace he needed, not anything more, not anything less. Really a veteran move.
Off the launch, we lost half of our field. There's an early crash between Maverick and Alex FPV where they were both out, big midair. Then Seba heading into the Vista Gate, hits the top of it just barely and sends it into the wall. I want you to watch Vanover's move here on Pavelos. Pavelos has a slight lead through the flight deck maneuver, but he cuts it just right, coming out of the T-Mobile Gate and makes a perfectly straight line to the first of the 3-column slalom. He gets out front, stays out front. He's still got that low maneuver that we've seen causing a little bit of trouble for him, but it pays off for him this time. Then, from Pavel's perspective, you're going to see Vanover out front of him. You're going to see him trying to cut as tight as he can to those pillars. But watch how quickly Vanover's able to get through that split S. Vanover's out front. Pavel is doing everything that he can catch up to him. He's staying wide, cutting in tight. He's trying to get there, but it's not quite enough.
There it is. The leaderboard showing that only Vanover and Alex FPV have secured their spots in the finals. 4 pilots will enter this next sudden death. Only 1 will leave. And Evan, if you're judging off of the last heat, I think most people would pick Pavelos. Is that the logical choice to win here?
I really agree with that. Pavelos started out so poorly with that crash in the first Vista Gate. In this last heat, Heat 3, he came out and kept up with the 2019 champion Vanover. His confidence is going to be high. He knows he has the pace because he beat all the other pilots that are going to be with him here in sudden death. But anything can happen in drone racing. Sudden death takes those nerves to a whole new level. I'm going to go Pavelos, but it's going to be something to watch.
Another pilot to keep an eye on is Maverick, and thanks to Dragonfly's vital intelligence technology, you can see his heart rate is speeding right now, hovering just around 110. He's going to have to get that under control to have a shot at advancing. A reminder of the 4 pilots and the colors they will fly here in sudden death. Singu flies orange, Maverick flies red, Pavelos orange and white, and Seba green and white. Semifinal 1, sudden death. Thaumaturgists take flight as these 4 now will decide the last pilot to make semifinal number 1. You've got Singu, the orange drone, Maverick, the red drone. They're there, but so is Pavelos, the orange and white.
Pavelos and Singu right on top of each other, but Maverick somehow still in it after some contact going through first base.
They head down the left field line. This is the 3-column slalom. Look at all that orange and red. You've got Pavelos, you've got Singu, and you've got contact between Pavelos and Singu, and Pavelos comes out, at least for the moment, ahead of the game. Pavelos in first, Maverick in second.
This is sudden death. Maverick has no reason to hold back. He has to give it everything. He's making up ground on Pavelos right here through the flight deck maneuver.
And he went for the pass. Maverick has made the pass. The red drone of Maverick leads into the three-column slalom. Pavelos trying to get it back. And they've both gone haywire, it looks like. But Maverick maintains his lead.
Oh my God.
This is the move on. Maverick has the most momentum. Maverick will advance.
Let's go! Yes! Maverick with a collision early on there and stayed in it. I'm not sure how he was able to do that. He must have not gotten that much drone damage. Obviously so, his drone was performing plenty fine there at the end. There was some contact between Singu and Pavelos at one point, but oh my gosh, the racing was second to none. This is why we watch this sport. Look at that. There was a collision right there between Pavelos and Singu going through the Google Cloud field gate, and then Maverick was on the chase. We have the ability to think that Pavelos may have had a little bit of drone damage after that midair, but Maverick straight up flew amazing. Look at that flight deck maneuver, cutting in front of Pavelos, and they are blade to blade, side by side, going up to the three-column slalom. I thought they were gonna have a midair, but they just barely avoided one another. And then Pavelos went a little wide there on that last column, leaving Maverick with the lead just barely through that last U.S. Air Force Pinnegate. Maverick brought it home. He's so pumped.
Pressure creates diamonds, and that was a gem of a performance from Maverick. He wins to move on.
We're going to fast forward all the way to the first of the three-column slaloms. All three of these drones are just in this epic battle, but through the split S, you can see Singu and Pavel start to get really close together, and what happens is Pavel gets on the inside line and sits down on top of Singu's drone and sends him flying into that banner. He probably takes a little bit of damage, so it's awesome that he stays out in front of Maverick, but Maverick starts reeling him in. Here on the flight deck maneuver, you can see he cuts it just like Vanover did in the previous heat, and he gets out front. That red drone has now taken the lead. Now we're here in the three-column slalom. They both make a mistake, they both recover, and Maverick comes out ahead. It's unbelievable to see this close of racing, and it's awesome to see them battling back and forth when everything matters. Here's one more look at that second pass through the three-column slalom. They're battling neck and neck. They're taking slightly different lines, but everything's closer. But Maverick just dips it into that split S and comes out in the lead. Look how close they are, neck and neck, all the way through the finish. They're mirroring each other's moves, but Maverick had just the slight edge and wins.
Our three pilots advancing out of semifinal number one. Vanover, Alex FPV, and Maverick. Hard-fought semifinal one is done. We now prep for more fast flying. Semifinal 2 is almost upon us.
The Earth is 70% water and 30% land. But the entire sky belongs to us. Copy that. Aim high, Airman.
The Drone Racing League, brought to you by Google Cloud. By Dragonfly, North America made and manufactured drone and AI solutions. And by the U.S. Air Force. Aim high. Welcome back to Lone Depot Park for Level 12 Magic City. 3 pilots have already qualified for the finals, and 3 more spots are now up for grabs as our next group of pilots get set for semifinal number 2. Evan, this is a heavy hitter semifinal if I've ever seen one. Let's talk about our top 2 pilots in the world, Halo Walker and MCK FPV. This is an intense battle for the World Championship.
Without a doubt, and I can't describe how different the dynamic is with your rival when you're against them in a semifinal. When it's the finals, you know you're both fighting for that 1-2 and it's all leading up to the golden heat. But when you're in the semifinal, you have the ability to prevent them from moving on to finals. With Halo Walker not making it the finals in the last one, MCK has a lot of power as far as the mental side of things. MCK is flying well and Halo has been wavering. MCK might be able to shut him down, and it'll be entertaining to say the least.
Let's introduce you not only to the pilots and the colors they will fly, but where they are also from. We start with Amari from Iowa, flying white. MCK FPV from South Korea flies purple. Gab 707, now living in Vancouver, Canada, flies yellow. Halo Walker, our #1 ranked pilot from Germany, flies flashing pink. Hyper from Florida flies green. And Killian from France flies blue.
9, 8, 7,
Semi-final 2,
5,
Heat 1.
4,
Another 6 are set to cast their spells. That was a great hole shot by Gab 707 in the yellow drone, but now you've got both Halo Walker and MCK, the pink and purple drones, out in front.
Look at this, Halo Walker trying to make a statement, and he goes wide there, getting passed by both Amari and MCK.
Now they'll go down the left field line. This sets up the 3-column slalom. You've got Amari, the white drone in front, closely followed by the purple drone of MCK. The flashing pink drone of Halo is in third.
What a 3-way battle. They actually make a little bit of contact there coming through the field gate. It's lap 2, time to evaluate. Halo Walker needs to push if he wants to be able to prove anything to these other pilots.
MCK had moved out in front, but both Halo Walker and Amari have great turns. MCK back out in the lead. Amari, the white drone, right there. They go back to the setup for the 3-column slalom.
The 3-column slalom is Amari's strong point for sure. Looks like he's going for a pass in the split S.
He gets it. It looks like he's moved to the front. Amari goes through the Google Cloud gate first. He'll take the U.S. Air Force gate first. Go, but he drops low. MCK gets the win.
MCK got it, yeah.
Yes!
That was a good run. That was a good run. That was a good fight. Min-Chen got it. Min-Chen got it. Yeah, no, I took this so tight. I was like, and I was like, no. Yep. He earned that one. He earned that one. That was a killer fight. That was so good.
Blade-to-blade battles is what we love, and that is what these pilots gave us. Those 3 in specifically were the pink drone, the purple and white drone of Amari, MCK, and Halo Walker. MCK and Amari in particular seem to have just that extra 1% over Halo Walker that gets you that win. Coming up through the 3-column slalom, MCK's first one was definitely superior to the other pilots. However, as Halo Walker started to fall back, MCK and Amari's battle just became ever more entertaining. The Vista Gate is where Amari definitely is stronger over MCK. He seems to be hesitating there, but then it just got tighter and tighter. Halo Walker goes down there, and it was a 2-way battle. It looked like to me that MCK had a big gap. But then the 3-column slalom, Amari came out of nowhere, really doing it better than MCK, dropping down, actually taking the pass in the field gate. But the Pentagate is what actually made the pass. MCK kept his momentum, soared over and around Amari for the win.
I'm curious straight away to ask, did you wait for the Pentagate to make that move? Or were you really just pushing full throttle as far as you could?
So in the second lap at the slalom, I knew it, I was first place. But as soon as I went to split ass section, Amari just passed me. So like we were just super close, so I had to like push so hard to the finish gate.
And how do you know where you've got that extra 1%, that extra place to go without taking too big a risk?
Actually, I thought I'm gonna lose it. So like I just took it like really tight turn it there, and then I guess it worked this time.
It did, absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We rarely see all 6 drones get through the first 3 gates, including that Vista gate, which has caused so much trouble. But the first drone that we're going to lose is that yellow drone of Gab 707. Heading down into the T-Mobile gate, he crashes out. Then Halo Walker on lap 2, trying to keep with that group of 3 up front, makes a mistake in the T-Mobile stack, and he is out of the battle. Then it was just MCK and Amari. Watch this column slalom. 1, 2, 3. Amari takes it perfectly, cuts it in, split S's. Now he's in the lead. He's got it by a pretty decisive margin relative to this heat. I mean, they've been so close the whole time, but he's going to cut through the Pentagate, and he's going to make a big mistake turning into it. Watch. He cuts in, makes a little bit of a mistake, gets too low, and that allows MCK to just cut it over top of him and barely get out front, and watch it in super slow-mo. Amari does make it into the gate, but too little, too late. This is Amari's perspective of MCK just sneaking in front of him. What a bummer of a way to win, but that's gotta be some confidence.
Amari lets it slip through his fingers. Oh, so close to the promised land. That allows MCK to be the first pilot out of semifinal 2 to book his ticket for the finals. We know MCK is in. Who will be the other 2 to join him? More of semifinal 2 after this.
For more than 2 decades, Dragonfly has been engineering innovative UAV and AI solutions across industries in the public and private sectors. This year, we have released a new heavy-lift UAV capable of carrying more than 30 kilograms and the versatile Commander 3XL UAV that can accommodate a whole host of payloads, including our new LiDAR system. From landmine detection and EMS delivery drones deployed in Ukraine to our biometric insight AI, our reputation has been built on our commitment to engineer technology that saves time, money, and lives.
This is DRL, the Drone Racing League. Welcome back to Level 12 Magic City. We're getting set for heat number 2 here in semifinal 2. We just watched MCK qualify for the finals. A reminder for our new fans, Evan, right? DRL is spec racing, which means all the drones are built identically the same. So from a pilot perspective, how do they differentiate themselves and find that extra edge to win?
Yes, they're all flying identical machines, meaning when you see somebody make a faster lap or you see somebody exit a turn with more speed, it's not any setup this, setup that, they have this, they have that. No, it is they manage their momentum better. They entered with more speed, exited with more speed. We see it in every single turn how stylistically some ways of flying are faster. And as a fan, you need to look and see, man, what did he do different to have all that speed to rocket ship past Amari in that last straightaway? It's so unique and it makes DRL special.
Our pilots in colors again. Amari flies white, MCK purple, Gab yellow, Halo Walker flashing pink, Hyper green,
Racing
and Killian
in 10,
blue.
9, 8, 7,
Semifinal
6,
2,
5,
Heat 2.
4.
Make sure no one mistakes your flying for an illusion. A pretty good start from Halo Walker, the flashing pink drone, but Amari, the white drone. Halo Walker just took himself out. He is gone. Amari in white leads Gab in yellow. And Gab's gone.
Oh, Amari has quite the comfortable lead going into the first half of this lap. MCK seemed to have a slow start, and Amari wants to get back at MCK.
Well, Amari now needs to take advantage of the gift he has been given. Through the Google Cloud gate, he'll head back and start lap number 2 in the lead. But MCK, the purple drone, is coming.
You may think Amari just needs to slow down and fly his own line here. What you need to understand is that when a pilot slows down like this in the sport of drone racing, you can sometimes alter your line so much you actually make more mistakes. MCK is going to be pushing and Amari is trying to ride the fine line between risk and reward.
MCK has been able to close the gap a little bit, but Amari just needs to stay the course. One final turn. Will he learn from the last heat? Amari in the lead. He does. Amari wins heat 2.
GG, 1-2, baby. GG, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Woo.
Good battle.
That was clean. No, that was good. Yeah, every time I hit the swatch back, I'm like, he's right there. Like,
I was right behind you.
Yeah.
MCK seemingly with a very slow launch there coming into that 4th place position. Halo Walker going down early and exploding his drone, taking him out once again. Let's go back to the racing. Amari in that white drone way out in front and seemingly MCK trying to just claw his way back up into it. You have to understand, MCK, he already has a win under his belt. He wants to continue to build that confidence tower that we've talked about before. So he doesn't need to make a mistake trying to do anything out of the ordinary. Amari was trying to ride, trying to find that line between flying safe, but not changing his line to the point where he makes a mistake that we've seen before. Going over that flight deck maneuver, you can see the pilots as they're controlling the drones right there in the middle of this course. And then MCK started to scare me a little bit, or actually scare Amari. His last 3-column slalom was spectacular, as well as his triangle split S. He made up a lot of ground over Amari, but it was too little, too late. Amari got his win, meaning these 2 pilots are also flying their way into finals.
All the pilots are trying to figure out how to replicate what Amari's doing, except in this heat, Halo. He got a little bit too tight, hit the finish gate, he was out. Then we head down to the T-Mobile gate. Gav comes in a little bit low and smacks into one of the lights, illuminating our T-Mobile double stack. Then Amari is out front. Here on the start of the 2nd lap, you can see that MCK is actually starting to reel him in a little bit, like Evan was talking about. Amari takes a little bit safer of a line through the 3-column slalom, knowing that he's got a little bit of space. MCK is trying to push it as hard as he can, but Amari is out front. He's got the momentum from the previous level win. He's done the fastest lap on this track, and he seals the deal.
2 pilots have won a heat, which means if we have a 3rd different pilot win heat number 3, there will be no need for sudden death. We know Amari and MCK are moving on. Halo Walker has surprised everyone but himself with his success this season, as he currently leads the overall standings. Let's take a closer look at this 20-year-old from Germany who could very well become the next DRL World Champion.
This year I feel like I have something to prove. Last season was just about survival. This year I'm here to win.
He came into this season wanting to prove he could fly IRL, and he has done it!
The energy with the crowd was amazing. Having them cheer you on and bringing more energy is just what I need.
Halo Walker, the champion of the Race to the Clouds.
I can perform well in front of a crowd.
Halo's line work has really stepped it up this season, and it's paying off huge.
What I love about racing is the adrenaline rush it gives me, and the close battles we have.
Halo Walker still just leading Alex FPV.
We have a lot of fast pilots, and it's going to get very heated on the flight deck.
I see you! You mad at me!
Didn't you?
Yeah!
But I went down and you didn't.
This is what we call racing. I've described my flying style as risky.
So much fun.
I'm not afraid to take risks. I'm adjusting my lines to be more consistent, but also fast. I think the best way to improve your drone flying is seek discomfort.
That's not what they're supposed to look like.
Then just fly.
Flying good, feeling good!
Do you want to fly like the pros? Download the DRL Sim on PlayStation, Xbox, Steam, and Epic Games. Our world number 1 is on the brink of getting blanked for a 2nd level in a row. Will Halo survive? This is DRL, the Drone Racing League. Welcome back to the semifinals of Level 12 Magic City. Here in Semifinal 2, two pilots, MCK, FPV, and Amari, have already qualified for the finals. But another story, Evan, everyone should be following is the guy who hasn't qualified yet. He's our world number 1, Halo Walker. Last level, he missed the finals. That was bad. If he misses these finals, it could become catastrophic.
To become a world champion, there is a certain tolerance for mistakes that you can have. Nobody's expected to be perfect, but your mistakes have to be low impact. Halo Walker didn't make finals back in level 11, and that really hurt him. If he does it 2 times in a row, this could be the end of his shot at being a world champion.
Our pilots in colors again. Amari flies white, MCK purple, Gab yellow, Halo Walker flashing pink, Hyper green, and Killian blue. Semifinal 2, Heat 3. Stunt flying from the front is encouraged as Amari, the white drone, leads them all through and up to the Vista Gate. You've got MCK who's moved into second, and oh, there we go as they come on down.
So Halo Walker,
Amari's out.
This is not good for Halo Walker. Both Amari and MCK have a bobble, leaving 2 pilots who are 3 actually, who are not in the finals already in the lead. If Gab 707 or Killian are able to secure this win, Halo Walker won't make finals.
It's the blue drone of Killian, the Frenchman, who leads them on to lap number 2. Gab 707, the yellow drone. He's the most veteran pilot in the league, and he makes contact with the Vista Gate. It's now Killian's or bust, as he has such a huge lead. That blue drone way out front.
This blue drone of Killian is what almost defines the world championship position for Halo Walker and MCK right now. This could be it.
It is gonna be it, as Killian only one of 2 drones up. He's got all that clean air. Killian is moving on to the final.
Let's go! Woo! Bro! Oh yeah! Let's go, bro! Oh, let's go. That's been so good up to the made it! No. We've been practicing so hard. Woo!
All eyes on the flashing pink drone of Halo Walker. He did not look confident from the very beginning, and boom, within seconds of the heat start, he is out, ending his shot at getting to finals tonight here on level 12. Then he became MCK and Amari's biggest cheerleader. If they were able to win and push to a sudden death, he would have another shot. That's just not how it played out. The yellow drone of Gab and the blue drone of Killian were out front, battling against one another, trying to get their own self into the finals. They don't care about Halo Walker. They have no reason to. This is a singles sport. There goes down Gab 707, leaving Killian alone at the front. He finished in 11th or 12th place back in level 11. He wanted to come back and show his fans and all the people of France that he was here to come back and get to finals and represent. And that's exactly what he did. He played the game, he played it smart, and here he comes to the last few gates. All the practice is paying off for Killian right now, and now it's finals for all or nothing.
The last thing that Halo Walker needed here was an early crash. There's always the promise of sudden death, but you can't make this mistake and count on it happening, and counting on it happening is not what he wanted to do, because it went to a 3-round semifinal, which means we don't have that sudden death. Gab 707 and Killian out front battling, and these guys are fighting for everything. They're trying to get back and forth as much as possible. Here you're gonna see Gab into the second Vista Gate go down. That leaves Killian all alone out front. Killian, having not yet booked his ticket, is locking the door on that sudden death round and locking the door for Halo Walker to not advance. And you can see how stoked he is to be moving on.
The 3 pilots coming out of semifinal number 2, Amari, MCK FPV, and Killian. As we head towards finals, the pilots better know this. This course can bite back.
Muertos.
The final clash of the season commences. He goes for the pass. The Drone Racing League, brought to you by Algorand, the world's most powerful and sustainable blockchain. By T-Mobile, exclusive wireless partner of the Drone Racing League. And by Points Cash, freedom to pay your way. Welcome back to the DRL Algorand World Championship. We're at Lone Depot Park in Florida for Level 12 Magic City, and we're set for the finals as our remaining 6 pilots take their place in the flight deck. We just saw MCK walk by, Evan. He is the only pilot to have made every final this season. Of course, that's an impressive stat, but let's apply it to the fact that his main rival, Halo Walker, has just missed his 2nd final in a row. How liberating do you think that's going to make his flying here?
Oh, well, MCK has worked so incredibly hard leading up to these races. I think for him, what that means is he just worked harder. He kept the focus. He performed good on his bad days, performed good on his good days. That is what he did that Halo Walker didn't, and it just is almost a moment of, I gotcha.
Well, now here in the finals, there are 6 regular heats. Win any one of them, and you're in the golden heat. Once we get to the golden heat, it is winner take all. Whoever finishes first will be the level champion. Let's introduce you to our 6 pilots and the colors they will fly. We start with our 2019 DRL World Champion, Vanover. He flies the Flashing Disco Drone. Amari flies white. MCK FPV, the rookie from South Korea, flies purple. Killian, with that exciting win at the end of semifinal 2 from France, flies blue. Alex FPV from Tennessee flies the alternating red and blue drone. And Maverick, making his home in Southern California now, flies red.
9, 8, 7,
Finals,
6,
Heat
5,
1.
4.
Our quest to reveal the final secrets begins. Through first base, now up to the Vista Gate. You've got Amari. Oh, and right away we hear the contact. The white drone of Amari, though, stays in front.
We're down to 4 drones. 2 are out. Looks like a midair between Killian and MCK, with Amari with the comfortable lead.
Into the 3-column slalom. This is the favorite part of the course for Amari. We've seen him extend and really find his way through. Now on to lap number 2. No debate who's in front, the white drone of Amari.
Talk about a new pilot in Amari. We've never seen somebody develop this quickly in the middle of a season. He went from somebody who struggled to even finish and make finals to now dominating our top pilots.
If these positions hold and Amari does win, he will qualify for the golden heat, but in the finals, seconds matter as well. So that fight for second, very important. 2 seconds gets you into the golden heat. Amari, no debate, our level winner in the last one, wins the first heat of finals. and I think Killian may have gotten MCK for second.
We got 5 more heats till golden heat? What?
Who got first?
Amari got first, but I don't know who got
you
second.
was you?
Yeah!
What?
He's gone.
Killian P2.
You got P2? Oh, yeah. Go, Killian. Go. Take that.
The action started here at the first Piston Gate. 2 drones, Vanover and Alex FPV obliterating their drones. Here's a second look from another angle. Both drones just disappear. Then heading down into the T-Mobile double stack, you're going to see a slight midair between Killian and MCK. They both have damage, so Amari's going to be able to continue to build out that lead, but the 2 drones of Killian and MCK are going to battle back and forth. You can see that there's actually a pretty good gap leading into that split S, but he's reeling him in. He's got him. He knows where he's at. He's going to cut it a little bit tighter, get inside of MCK, and now you can't see him anymore because boom, Killian's into the finish ahead of him. Here's one last look at just how close that last finish was. Killian just inching it out, and that means everything to him coming in front of MCK.
As I said during the race, in the finals, not only wins, but seconds can get you to the golden heat. So that is why it is so important that not only Amari knows he's moving on, but Killian now knows with a second. Second, he'll make the golden heat as well. Download the Drone Racing Arcade, a fun, free, and easy-to-play drone racing mobile game on iOS and Android. When it comes to Amari, he seems like he will be able to take on anyone and say, bring it on.
The Algorand ecosystem is where monumental change takes shape. So come transform the world with us on Algorand.
This is DRL, the Drone Racing League. Welcome back to the finals of Level 12, Magic City. Amari has won heat number 1 and has secured his spot in the winner-take-all golden heat. Evan, I'd love for you to give our new fans kind of some perspective, right? When a pilot is on, like he seems to be, how do the other pilots approach trying to take him out of his game?
Well, this course suits Amari so well. Every single turn fits his style and all of that, so it's hard to simply outrun. The analogy I would use is you need to almost take some shots in the dark, because if he can just straight up outrun you, you need to get in his head. If you're able to just lay down a crazy heat, get ahead of him, then he can start to doubt himself, and that is when you have started to take him down. But first, you're gonna have to take those shots in the dark. You're gonna miss a few times, but if you make one to get in his head, that could be your ticket to getting ahead of Amari.
We look at our pilots and colors once again. Vanover, the flashing disco drone. Amari flies white, MCK purple, Killian blue, Alex FPV red and blue, and Maverick red.
9, 8, 7.
Finals, Heat 2. Who will be the best at bewitching with their blades? Another great start for the flashing drone of Amari, as well as Vanover. They are right there, flashing white and the solid white. You've got the blue drone of Killian mixing it up for the top 3. Oh, Vanover goes down for a bit.
It does not look like it's Vanover's night, and MCK goes down as well. We are right back with Amari out in front with Killian and Blue Drone in hot pursuit. I haven't seen Killian or really anyone tonight be able to give Amari a run for his money.
Interestingly enough, these are the 3 colors we saw out in the lead earlier. You've got Amari in white, Killian in blue, Maverick in red. They're your top three.
Red, white, and blue, all the way down to the bottom part of the T-Mobile stack. The blue drone of Killian already has a second, so if he plays the game right, he can get another one, guaranteeing himself a spot in that golden heat.
Well, Amari's trying to go back-to-back. He was the winner of our last level. All that momentum has been funneled into level 12. It looks like this is his night yet again. It's another win for Amari, and it is a second for Killian. So we now have two pilots in the golden heat.
Here we go, golden heat, boys. Here we go. Here we go.
We saw the celebration of Killian, showing that it's not just first places that matter right now. We saw Amari with the win in the white drone, and that blue drone of Killian playing the consistency game, playing the drone racing game that is the finals here at DRL. That means that Killian could have pushed a little bit harder. He could have maybe a little bit more risk, but he could have crashed and gone out. He knew that he was situationally aware. He knew that only Amari was out in front and that a Maverick was close behind, but he had the speed to hold him off. He brought home the second, securing himself a spot in the golden heat. What's interesting is that not only Killian and Maverick were battling in this heat, but they, I believe, are separated by only a few points in the season standings. So we need to keep an eye on that all night long. Killian is already into the golden heat, meaning he's well ahead of Maverick. So Maverick needs to get himself a spot in that golden heat if he wants to have a shot of keeping that battle in the season points close enough.
Vanover from pole position had the best launch, but Amari was able to make a much better pass through that first Vista gate and take the lead. Vanover sees two drones come in front of him when he suddenly was out front and cuts as hard as he possibly can into the T-Mobile double stack, but flies a little bit too low, bounces off the ground, and that is essentially the race over for him. Then, heading through the second column slalom, we have Amari getting out front and keeping that space. But look back into that second place. Killian has actually already earned a second place, and 2 second places give you access to the golden heat, and there he seals the deal. He knows he's moving on. He's feeling good. Can't wait to see how he does.
Playing off of what Paul said, Killian very happy to know he has assured his spot in the golden heat. Of course, no doubt, Amari is there as well. Question marks by the other 4. Evan, as we get set now for heat number 3, I want you to build on what I just said. Question marks, right, for these other 4. These are some big name pilots that have been DNFing. MCK FPV, Vanover, Alex FPV.
Vanover and Alex, neither of them have even finished a heat here in finals yet. They are not doing well in the mental state. That mental fortress we've heard Vanover talk about before is not very tall right now, and that's what defines a champion. You need to be able to recover from these moments, build yourself back up, and we're going to see firsthand, live and in person, Vanover and Alex FPV try and build themselves back up into some confidence.
8, 7,
Finals, heat 3.
4.
Now would be a good time to conjure up a victory. A great start once again by Amari, the white drone. You've got MCK in purple slotted into second. That is the first mistake we've seen Amari make all night long. He takes himself out at the Vista gate. MCK, the purple drone in front.
We're looking for MCK to capitalize on this mistake. It's been his strategy all season long, and right now he has the blue drone of Killian, his buddy old pal behind him, but I think MCK has a faster pace for sure.
Well, we've seen MCK fly from the front so often. This is a pilot that, for all intents and purposes, after this level, will move to the #1 spot in the world. But if he makes the golden heat, he's pretty much assured that fact. On to lap number 2. They're through the T-Mobile top part. Now down that left field line, it's the 3-column slalom yet again.
This is more than just a heat win for MCK. This is him solidifying himself into that #1 spot in the season standings.
One more turn, through the U.S. Air Force Gate. MCK has made every finals this season, and now he makes another Golden Heat.
Did you see that? MCK FPV.
Woo! Off the launch, it looked as though Vanover had a slow start. That happens to the best of us, and a slow reaction time can be very costly. It looks like that actually got into his head, taking him out of the Vista Gate when he was in all that traffic. After that, it was MCK capitalizing on a mistake. That first error we've seen from Amari all night long in the finals, and MCK was just going to take that and make the most of it. That's exactly what he did. He had his buddy Killian in the blue drone chasing closely behind, and that puts Killian at an incredibly consistent 3 seconds in a row. That makes him dangerous. He might not be the fastest one here tonight, but it's a stat you need to keep your eye on as the finals develop. MCK was so incredibly confident. You can just see in his charisma after the heat. He's bubbly, he's funny, and he's having a good time. That, as a competitor, is just so scary. When you see somebody like that truly enjoying drone racing for that incredible enjoyment, you're gonna be scared because you know that makes them so dangerous.
MCK joins me now, and I'm curious particularly about your demeanor. You're a man who often talks about being very, very nervous, but you look like you're having a lot of fun out there, and you fly differently when you're having fun.
Yeah, I think so. Like, I'm actually enjoying my time in Miami. I'm having so much fun with this drag, and I think I'm flying pretty good today, so I'm pretty happy.
Are you focused on each heat as we go along, or already thinking about that golden heat?
You know, always my goal is to be on Golden Heat, and I made it, so I'm really happy, and I cannot wait for the Golden Heat.
Thank you very much.
Let's take a look at this launch. Vanover tilts a little bit too far and falls back in all of the cacophony of drones here. But heading up to this Vista Gate, we have 3 drones crash out, Amari, Maverick, and Vanover. It's a big deal for Amari to go down because that creates a wide open door for the rest of the pilots, and MCK is who's going to capitalize. Here's another look at that chaos. There's just parts raining down like unbelievable. This is Alex FPV's perspective of that launch. You're going to see all of the other 5 drones in front of him for this entire run. He's chasing them down, but I just want you to be able to see the beauty of the Red Sea parting in front of him as all of these drones just fall apart, and now Alex is out there in 3rd place comfortably. And then here is MCK bringing it home for the finish.
Layla and MCK mentioned the Golden Heat. Well, he is now qualified for 10 of the 12 Golden Heats we will have had this season. Amari's in, MCK is in, as is Killian. And how about Killian's consistency? Half the field has qualified for the Golden Heat, but it will all come down to whoever wins the final heat of the night.
Are you one of the millions surprised by Verizon and AT&T raising your rates last year?
You have rights.
I'm not entirely sure what they are because I'm not a lawyer. I'm just a charming British actor. But I do know this. T-Mobile has price lock guarantee, and that means they won't raise the rates of your talk, text, and data ever. Look at these overly happy people. Join T-Mobile and experience price lock guarantee. A guarantee you won't look back. That's a guarantee. Am I saying guarantee too much?
Switch to T-Mobile and get 4 new lines for $25 a line.
This is DRL, the Drone Racing League. Welcome back to Level 12 Magic City. We're halfway through the finals, and already half our field has qualified for the Golden Heat. Amari, MCK, FPV, and Killian. Evan, let's talk about Killian, right? Because You've lived this sport for so many years. There are peaks and there are valleys. Sometimes the most dangerous guy is the one that can find that consistent lane.
This course has proven to make some of the most notoriously consistent pilots just start to crumble. We saw Amari with 2 firsts and then a 4th, and then MCK going from a 3rd and a 5th all the way up to a 1st. But the one person who has yet to waver tonight is Killian. He has found the lane, as you said, second. He's in the golden heat, and he is scary.
Let's give you our pilots and colors again. Vanover flies the flashing disco drone. Amari white, MCK purple, Killian blue, Alex FPV red and blue, and Maverick
Racing
red.
in 10, 9, 8,
Finals.
7,
Heat 4.
5, 4.
Fly fast enough to be the Hurricane. You've got the flashing drone of Vanover right in front of. Oh, you had MCK and Amari make contact. It seems that now they are both out. That leaves Vanover in front and Maverick in second.
Maverick has yet to get a second place tonight. Vanover as well.
Only 2 pilots up, partner.
Oh my goodness. This is theirs to, this is almost a practice that you could call it. Vanover is gonna get a first more than likely if Maverick can't figure out a way to make up a lot of ground. Maverick's gonna get himself a second place, getting him 1 step closer to that golden heat.
Just what we were talking about, the peaks and valleys of DRL. Vanover was in the basement in terms of the standings here in the finals. Now he's got a chance to vault all the way to the top and into another golden heat. No problem so far. These are the only 2 drones up. They're through the columns. There's the triangle split S dropping through the Google Cloud Gate, and now it's just the left turn. Vanover knows how to do this, folks, and he's going to another golden heat.
Oh, we're back, baby, we're back. Oh, that is a huge sigh of relief. Oh, that's how you hit the reset button, ladies and gentlemen. That's how you hit reset. Woo!
Off the launch, we saw so much destruction. Let's try and keep up with it live here. We saw Amari and MCK have some bobbles. Killian go down as well. MCK go down in the Vista, and then it was only 2. 2 pilots, I will say, who have not gotten any sign of success going into this finals, being Vanover and the red of Maverick. Vanover ended up taking the win, of course, securing himself a spot into the golden heat, and Maverick getting the coveted second place that you need to at least get some confidence that you only need 1 more to get yourself into that big heat. Maverick, I will say, did make up some ground, so I want to dive into his flying. Vanover was taking it smooth. He could hear coming over this flight deck maneuver that Maverick was probably a little bit back, but Maverick, what I love about the guy is that he will never give up. He's not afraid to push it, and coming through that 3-column slalom, I think his was actually a little faster than Vanover's, shrinking that gap a little bit. If nothing else, that is good for Maverick's mental game, and he's a little bit closer to a final.
Let's talk about self-talk. Last season, we saw you literally mouthing and talking to yourself. This season, I can't see it, but you're taking these pauses and these moments. Are you talking to yourself still?
Yeah, I'm just doing it without moving my lips this year. Yeah, I mean, that first part of finals was just really rough. Just hitting the Vista Gate almost every single lap. I just told myself 10 seconds before we started racing, this is the reset. Forget about everything that's just happened. This is a brand new race. And I just went out there, used my P1 advantage on the start, and just, never let go.
The perfect reset. Thank you.
Guys, I'm looking at like 20 different cameras here, and I had to rewind it 4 times to see what even happened here. Watch Alex in the blinking blue and red drone crash out on his own, and then Killian and MCK hit each other, and then MCK hits Amari, and all 3 of them go down. So we lose 4 right off the top. Here's Alex in the blue and red drone, boom! Then you watch the blue drone clips into MCK, and then MCK drops down into Amari. Now MCK has damage, he's flying up to the Vista Gate, he turns to make that turn, doesn't have enough power, sits down into the stands, and he is out. That leaves Vanover way out front in front of Maverick. I think he played it a little bit safe, but Vanover brings it home, and Vanover is locked in for the gold.
4 heats in. to these finals of level 12, and we now have 4 pilots in the Golden Heats. Just when you think you can predict and prognosticate, these pilots keep it interesting.
When I'm flying, I put my helmet on, my visor down, my mask up. You don't know who I am. Whether I'm African American, Asian American, Hispanic, white, male or female. You just know I'm an American airman kicking your butt. I'm General C.Q. Brown Jr. Come join us.
This is DRL, the Drone Racing League. Welcome back to the finals of Level 12 Magic City here in Lone Depot Park. With just 2 more regular heats of racing remaining, we only have 2 pilots who haven't qualified for the Golden Heat. The pilots that are in: Amari, MCK, Vanover, and Killian. Evan, we've already highlighted Killian's consistency. Now I want you to touch on the emotional roller coaster that Amari's on.
Amari started high with his 2 first places, looking like no one could beat him. But now going into Heat 3 and 4, some of the other pilots have started to warm up, those being MCK and Vanover. You said emotional roller coaster, and that's my favorite analogy to describe the finals in any DRL race. Can we see Amari start to crest the bottom of that hill and start to climb back up when it matters? It's important to peak at the right time, and Amari needs to start climbing here soon.
Pilots and colors again: Vanover, the flashing disco drone; Amari white, MCK purple, Killian blue, Alex red and blue, and Maverick red. Final Heat 5. The voodoo you do may make it all worthwhile. They're already through that U.S. Air Force gate. Oh, contact again. The Vista gate, no victims yet. They're still all up. Now down through the lower section of the T-Mobile stack.
Amari seems to be cresting that hill. At least that's what it seems. He is starting way out in front of these other pilots. I'm excited to see this develop as MCK, who's starting to gain some confidence, catches up to Amari in that split S.
Well, we do have confirmation that Vanover has gone down, but the top 2, Amari in white, MCK in purple. Could this be a summation and perhaps a look into the future of what the Golden Heat will look like? Now they go through that T-Mobile stack again over the flight deck.
This is getting exciting. Amari and MCK in a battle for the ages. Coming to the 3-column slalom, we're going to see these drones separate who has the faster line.
Amari's been so good through the columns. There's that split S. Oh, and look at MCK going for the pass. They are dead even through the U.S. Air Force gate. The momentum is MCK's again. It's the second time we've seen that where MCK comes through at the finish for the win.
I did the opposite, because I was like, I'm going to take this. And I didn't want.
What a battle. Those are my favorite blade-to-blade action that we get to see here in DRL. When it's a clean race, you hear Alex FPV talk about things like this all the time. When it ends in a midair, it's almost a bittersweet victory. But what we saw here was clean racing. MCK started out with obviously a pretty big gap here between himself and Amari. And Amari's 3-column slalom in that first lap definitely was not impressive, allowing MCK to close that gap very quickly. At this point, it was just this back and forth moment. Amari coming through the Vista gate, oh so strong, and then MCK started to make up some ground. I noticed here he got a little bit of prop wash from Amari, seemingly getting blown down from Amari's propeller power. And then it came to the 3-column slalom. Their lines now very similar as MCK's has learned to adapt and it came down to that last split S. They came dropping down to the field gate, and MCK 100% manages his momentum better through the pit gate, soaring past seemingly Amari to the finish.
The heat ended with a battle between MCK and Amari, but it started as a battle between Vanover and Amari. Vanover making a crucial mistake at the first T-Mobile double stack. Then, heading into the first column slalom, I want you to see how Amari is taking a different line than he's been, where he's been dominant. Watch him stay a little bit lower than he has been, but MCK comes in a little bit higher and is able to take that momentum through the split S and catch up to him a little bit. That's going to come back in a second. Then, through that first split S, you can actually see the red drone of Maverick absolutely rail himself on that railing, and that drone is done for the heat. Now we're on the second column slalom. Watch again this exit. Amari staying a little bit lower, MCK staying a little bit higher. He's already got the height and the altitude, and this is what's going to give him that final opportunity to make that split S and start to catch up to Amari. Then we're going to switch over to Amari's perspective through the column slalom. Split S, no MCK in sight, feeling good. Heading down through the Google Cloud Gate. I got this, no big deal. Heading into the Pentagate, and surprise! There's MCK, and, well, you're in second. Sorry, bud.
A second win for MCK doesn't change the number of pilots in the Golden Heat, but it certainly adds some fuel to MCK's confidence. Want to support your favorite pilot from home? Just head over to shopdrl.io to grab jerseys and the latest gear from DRL. Chances are dwindling if you want to make the final dance. The last regular heat is around the corner.
For more than 2 decades, Dragonfly has been engineering innovative UAV and AI solutions across industries in the public and private sectors. This year, we have released a new heavy-lift UAV capable of carrying more than 30 kilograms and the versatile Commander 3XL UAV that can accommodate a whole host of payloads, including our new LiDAR system. From landmine detection and EMS delivery drones deployed in Ukraine to our biometric insight AI, our reputation has been built on our commitment to engineer technology that saves time, money, and lives.
This is DRL, the Drone Racing League. Welcome back. Only one more chance here in the finals of Level 12 Magic City for the pilots to earn their way into the Golden Heat. We already have 4 pilots there: Amari, MCK, Vanover, and Killian. Evan, let's talk about MCK, because it seems there are spots on this course that he's figured out and he's using a different line.
Well, MCK and Amari specifically have their different areas where they're strong. MCK, where I'd want to be strong and where he is that last turn through the Pentagate. He takes it a little bit wider, is able to soar past using his momentum, and takes the edge over Amari with the top speed going to the finish.
Our colors again. Vanover flies the flashing disco drone, Amari flies white, MCK purple, Killian blue, Alex alternating red and blue, and Maverick red. Finals, Heat 6. Play the ace up your sleeve if you got it. A great start for MCK, but it's Amari in white and Vanover the flashing drone 1-2. Alex takes himself out again.
This could be a great look into what the Golden Heat has the potential of being, a battle between Amari and Vanover.
Vanover in the lead. He's the flashing drone. Amari the solid white drone. Amari just had a great column slalom. He closes the gap to Vanover as they start lap number 2.
One of the hardest spots you can be as a pilot, right behind the flashing drone of Vanover. It's up in his face, and the FPV,
oh! Contact by Amari at the Vistigate, but he stays up. He had closed the gap, but that allows Vanover some space yet again.
Amari hit that Vistigate with so much power, I'm amazed that his drone is still in the air. The second place can matter for the standings going into the Golden Heat.
Amari is trying to trend in the right direction. Vanover looking for his second win of these finals, and he is going to get it. He wins the last regular heat. Amari second, MCK third.
DNF, first,
Okay.
DNF first.
I think I still have first launch pad.
You should. Yeah, I don't have it.
Off the launch, look at the red drone of Maverick clipping MCK. Maverick almost saved it, but then ended up going down shortly after. Then it came down to that Amari and Vanover show. So entertaining to see these drones go blade to blade back and forth, where Vanover ultimately ended up edging Amari out. Through the 3-column slalom, Vanover actually had a slightly better one, even though his line wasn't exactly optimal. Amari, maybe he was trying to play it safe. Maybe he was trying to hold off a little to give himself some confidence going to the Golden Heat. But I know one thing is for sure is that Vanover's mental, oh my goodness, look at that contact for one. But Vanover's mental side is going to be a lot stronger, finishing off the final 6 heats with a win. Now going into the Golden Heat, it is all or nothing. We can't say that enough. And with Vanover, he's not going to be afraid anymore. He's not going to have that self-doubt that some of these other pilots have. If anything, he's going to have that self-confidence, knowing that he can do whatever he wants to this drone, and it's going to react the way he wants, as it obviously did in Heat 6.
This heat was a back and forth between Amari and Vanover. Amari with the better launch off the blocks, but then Vanover starts to climb up to the Vista gate and catch up to Amari. Amari cuts it tighter and sends Vanover a little bit further back. And you can see it very clearly here how much Amari was able to cut off, and Vanover had to go a little bit wider. That gives him a little bit of an advantage. But through the flight deck maneuver, Vanover's a little bit faster. He comes out of that T-Mobile double stack in first place. Then, heading into the second time through the Vista gate, I don't know how he did it, but Amari absolutely smashed into that gate and stayed in the air and stayed in contention. I can't tell if he has any damage at this point. It's wild. But Vanover is out front. He's got the momentum heading into the Golden Heat.
Another look at that leaderboard. All those wins and Killian's 3 seconds add up to 4 pilots moving on to the Golden Heats. 4 are about to fight for the level win. Expect more edge of your seat action. The final clash of the season commences. He goes for the pass. The Drone Racing League, brought to you by Google Cloud. By Dragonfly, North America made and manufactured drone and AI solutions. And by the U.S. Air Force. Aim high. Welcome back to Lone Depot Park and the finals of Level 12 Magic City. Evan, our longtime fans know every level leads up to this, the winner-take-all Golden Heat. We have 4 pilots here, Amari, MCK, Vanover, and Killian. I love when I make you do this, I'll say, partner. I want you to pick the winner.
Well, I can't stress this enough. When you say winner take all, that means we take everything that just happened in finals, we find the best from that group, and we put them in for, it doesn't matter what happens anymore. It doesn't matter where you come from, what happened in the past. This is your Hail Mary shot. I'm gonna say, if any one of these pilots can throw a Hail Mary and it be the fastest, it's gonna be MCK.
All right, well, let's give you their starting platforms, their podiums, because it's an interesting order. Amari starts from platform 1. MCK starts from platform 2, Vanover starts from platform 3. Then you drop all the way back to Killian on platform 6. That's all based on their results in the regular heats. Finals, Golden Heat. South Beach Stardom awaits the winner. 4 are up, and this is for all the marbles. Ever so close to the Vista Gate. Oh, we had carnage from the back pilot. Killian is gone, and now we've got more contact. You've got MCK up, and you've got Amari. They are the only 2 left.
This has so much meaning right now. I think all the fans understand MCK now solidifying his position, going into the front of the season points, passing Halo Walker in dominant fashion.
MCK, if he can hold on, will have absolutely maximized his points potential. Halo Walker faltered in a big way on this level, but MCK has a chance to win and vault over him in those world standings. But this is not finished. This is not over. You've got MCK and Amari up, but MCK is about to win yet again. His 3rd level win. He gets it. And you now are looking at our new world number 1. We've talked about the wins he's had in the sim. But all these pilots, they're just as something, right? We saw Amari's reaction in the last level to winning IRL for the first time. This is MCK's first in real life DRL win.
It is a day you will never forget. Some may say it's life-changing. This is a big day for MCK.
You can see how much this win means. And Layla, as always, is there. Let's send it to Layla.
I'm going to dive straight in and ask you about your emotions in that last race, because you were there with some incredible pilots and under intense pressure.
After I finished first place in Golden Heat, I'm not gonna lie, but I almost cried. Like, I've been putting in work so much harder than before. I practice every day for this race, prepare so much harder than before, and I made it, so I'm super happy to take first place.
As you were making that final run into the net, did it start to tingle through you that you've actually done it?
Yeah, at the second lap, I heard me and Amari was flying, and then I was so nervous. I felt like I'm gonna drop in the radio or something because I was so shaky, But when I hit the finish gate, oh my God, I can't feel my emotion because I was so happy.
Well, you did it. You have every right to be happy. Our level 12 champion, MCK.
Let's go!
Our final podium of level 12, MCK on the top step. Amari finishes second and Vanover in third. Evan, our U.S. Air Force fastest heat? Well, it was the final one, the Golden Heat, MCK.
To do the fastest heat in the Golden Heat, considering the circumstances, is absurd. I've been in this situation so many times before, and to do what these pilots do and then add that extra layer of pressure, it's just bonkers. And to have all of those factors and go as fast as MCK did, faster than himself, faster than anyone all night long, I can't describe how impressive that is to me and to you, the spectator.
Well, kudos to you. You said he'd throw the Hail Mary, and look at what it resulted in. The updated season standings. It is a 25-point swing. MCK went into the level 3 points behind Halo Walker. He now leads Halo Walker as our new number 1 by 22 points. Alex FPV maintains his third position.
Congratulations to our level 12 Magic City champion, MCK.
That does it for level 12 Magic City. Congrats and props again to MCK. Follow DRL on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and subscribe on YouTube. For Evan Turner, Paul Nurkala, Layla Anna Lee, and our entire crew, I'm Craig Hummer. Thanks for watching. This is a copyrighted broadcast of Drone Racing League Incorporated. It may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of Drone Racing League Incorporated.